This project came about, well, I met Richard Chandler, I think in like 2010, 2011, and we worked on, he was in Stan, we did Boston Massacre together. Richard Chandler's a very fine actor.
Thank you.
Very fine actor. And we became friendly, and I had this script laying around for a while that I was planning on doing, because of DJ Stan the Man taking, more time than it should have. It kind of got backburnered, and then me and Rick were talking one day just about some, roles and such, and what would be fun to do, and I knew I had that script kind of in the draw, so I broke it out and cleaned it up a little bit and sent it over to him, and he liked it, I believe, and we rolled into it. We rolled into it from there.
I whined to the director about not acting enough, and I paid him off.
Buku.
I funded the movie and supplied the drugs.
Which is the most important thing.
Well, that's an excellent question. In this particular role, I felt as though you're gonna stop staring at me, man.
I'm gonna look at Richard's bar.
It's creeping me out. It's I played a lot of bad guys, perhaps, if you will. Assholes. Can we swear in this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a lot of despicable characters, I guess. And in INSOMNIAC, I was, perhaps you might want to say the victim of these events, which I don't, it was kind of a different role for me in that regard. But I was in my trailer 12 hours a day, not eating and not sleeping. No, not really. The reality of the matter is, I don't know, I guess I just tried to get in the headspace of a character that really had nothing going for him at all, but he was still kind of a normal guy. Like, he wasn't really crazy, but he wasn't exactly sane from the lack of sleep, so I tried to, have as much anxiety as possible, which was very easy leading up to most indie shoots, so it's pretty much it. I always tried to be nervous, just keep the nervousness going.
For this film, I get insomnia a lot myself. I know Rick does too, and it's just, I've had it for the most of my life, and I know, like, it is kind of, a lot of people have it, for whatever reason, and when you don't sleep, you do kind of, you go into this weird realm, it feels like, where it's dreamlike and it's fuzzy, and taking something like that and then showing it to an audience that can relate, and then adding in the different elements of the horror to it was what was really fun about it, because almost like it's you're taking that regular thing that a lot of people can relate to, like with horror movies we'll see something like with teenagers, or because they all relate being a teenager and that time of innocence and such, and then you bring in the boogeyman or whatever it will be to kind of stir things up. And so yeah, I just kind of, and I like the whole aspect of like the demon realm of it, where you slip so far into this state that you now see things differently than other people, and you see things that other people don't see. Hence, the dream demon in this film, and it kind of haunts them, and it works its wicked ways on them. I feel I don't really support the medical field. I mean, I can't denounce them because they do good things, but I do feel that it's more of a business than it is trying to help people. And they, you know, like in the film, without giving too much away, he kind of touches on that with the Dr. Pleasant's character, and you know how he reacts to the situation. You'll have to see it to fully get what I'm talking about. But I do feel that they're more concerned with money now, where they will bring you in and tag you along for the ride to keep their business going. And, you know, it's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. But it kind of is what it is. I don't see it changing anytime soon or really ever, because it's making people money. And once you're making a large amount of money, you know, there's no stopping that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, well, to them,
It's pretty broken.
it's pretty broken. Yeah,
I'd
but
say
like,
it's a pretty big problem.
yeah. Do you want to talk about the medical field?
I feel like they shell out like psych drugs like candy.
Yeah.
You know, you go in there and like no one recommends therapy. They don't recommend exercise or diet. They're like have these drugs, and you know, and if that don't work, you know, if the psych drugs give you high blood pressure or they give you nausea, then they give you drugs for that. And if then you know those make you dizzy, so then they give you drugs for that, and before you know it, your wallet's gone and you're fucking crazy as shit. It's a cycle.
It's a vicious cycle, to quote Austin Powers.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you know, like Rick says, you know, they give you one thing to take care of the other thing, and it's just it just piles up, and you know that stuff they're giving people ain't good for like in the long run. Yeah, in the long run, it ain't good for their mind or body. But it's all one way to keep people under control and like, you know, doing what they want them to do. We touch it in the short. I think we get in there. I think that Ray Booten did a good job playing Dr. Pleasance, and kind of, you know, I mean, he plays like a really evil character. I feel that there's multiple evils to it, you know what I mean? He has his hidden agenda, and these are the people that we go to for help, to help us through like tough times of health, and like we're kind of at their mercy. And unfortunately, they play off that, and you know, it's in the movie. It's all in the movie. You know, it is a terrible thing. You know.
He's a mysterious.
He is. He's very. He's like a loner type dude. He's a very awesome guy, very talented guy. I met Ray Booten through Rick, I believe it was, and when I cast things, the first thing that I usually like to go after is the look first, because I feel if you can capture the look, and then if they're an actor that's serious about their craft, then you can build the psychological aspect of it with them. And you know, Ray Booten, when I seen him, he was perfect for like what I wanted for Dr. Pleasance. And I met with him a few times, and we talked it all out, and we were all on the same page. And yeah, he came in. He did a great job. Rick Chandler is one of my favorite actors, for real, honestly. I remember the first time I really got to work with him in depth was Boston Massacre Episode 2. It was a web series by the Boston Film family. And I remember leading into it, because I've seen some of his previous work. I've seen Scrooge in the Hood, which I thought was very good. I've seen the Lilith Trilogy. I've seen Legless, films you guys should check out there. And I was a big fan, and I actually was very, I don't know if I ever told him this, but I was actually like very much so looking forward to working with him, because I thought he was very talented. And there's a good chunk of like good actors around here, but he was one that I've never worked with that I really wanted to work with. So as soon as I worked with him on that and the relationship grew, I mean, it was very easy when I was thinking INSOMNIAC, and I just knew that he would do great with it. So I approached him with it, and luckily he liked it, and then we did it.
You know, I've acted in a lot of movies, mostly shot in New England, and you know, you waste a lot of time with, I guess, people that don't really have much of a vision. I can say that Matt had a vision. Insomniac was a very psychological movie, which was cool. You know, it definitely takes more to get something like that going than, you know, a lot of the stuff I'm in, you know, not going to name anything specific, but a lot of directors on an indie level, they want to make these Mathew rip-offs and, you know, slashers. And people just do whatever's the cheapest, I feel.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like at least there was, you know, there was a vision with Insomniac, and I felt like, you know, it was executed as the project went on. Like most directors that I, you know, I don't really have like conversation with them. They're like, just go, just do it. It's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, you know, I can memorize lines, but
that was fantastic. She was very cool, very easygoing. She came in for a day. I met her on a previous film, and she's just super cool, very professional, very friendly again. Yeah, anybody who's never seen Alejandro Jodorowsky's Santa Sangre, definitely check that out, because it's like really beautiful, like art house film. Very cool. She plays a pretty big part in it. You can get that, it's out. But yeah, fantastic. She was great. I worked with her again. Awesome. Her husband Mike's a great guy too. He helped us out with some interpreting. Working with the deaf acting community is a lot of fun. They're really good people from the you know the ones I've worked with. I like to kind of give them that opportunity because they have a passion to do it like everybody else did, you know, out there acting, trying to get further along, and you know they have the skills. They're very talented, and when you know they might not regularly find themselves in a situation where they can act in films, you know, very loosely, like here and there, but they can do it just as good as everybody else. So I feel I've done a few projects in the past with the deaf community, and you know they've just fallen into other projects that I've done. But yeah, it's great, and I like to be able to give them that opportunity, you know. Well, on this project, we were lucky enough we had Barry Mahoney, who at the time was just getting off of, he just did the Sci-Fi Channel's Face Off show, which was pretty cool. I met up with him through another dude that was on the show named George Trauster, who I did Alice D, a movie called The Haunting of Alice D now, a Jessica Salmon born, written, and directed film. And because originally we were going to have George come in, but he was doing like a workshop because of the fame off of Face Off, so he was doing like a workshop in California. He couldn't make it down, but he introduced me to an effects artist in the area, which was Barry. We brought Barry in, and Barry's a super cool dude. We did the molds in this room, and he came back, did the effects, was really good. We had Bill Coyne. When Alex Hogg cut off his hair, that was pretty fun. Yeah, we had him. One of the Alex Hogg plays Walter in the film. He's a patient that's kind of been through the hoopla of, you know, what the Roger Humphreys character would eventually, the road he'd go down.
Like past future.
Like the past future type thing. His character's, Hawk's character's more of like a been in the mix longer type thing, and he's kind of the medicine that he was giving, you know, has worn him down to nothing and made him worse than he is, and which is pretty hard for Hawk to be worse than he is, but you know, just wore him down, and you know, at the end of the day, you know, he loses, without giving too much away, he loses all his hair as well as his mind.
Do you have any fun story?
I'm trying to think. I was gonna say the Alex Hawk thing.
The hospital.
Yeah, the hospital was cool. It was an old hospital, so it kind of had that psych ward vibe to it. But it was kind of unsettling. The exterior of it was unsettling. It looked like a psych ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I wasn't supposed to, but it just felt like it.
It had that very like old-timey feel to it.
Yeah, hospitals were scary back then.
Yeah.
No wonder everyone just died.
Yeah.
Who's up first?
Well, INSOMNIAC will be coming out soon. We got my last feature, DJ Stan's gonna be hitting festivals and such soon. Have some more screenings, hopefully. Me and Rick just did a project, Witch Hunt. He wrote and directed. Very cool project, short coming up in a couple months, right?
Yeah, I'm editing that now. It's almost done. It's like 99% done. So I'll probably have a premiere in the next couple months. You know, submit it to festivals. Yeah, doing that. Part of some anthology projects and acting for other people.
And the Groundhog Project, of course. To check it out by all means.
Please do.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
That was very short and sweet.
Check it out.